Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're not yet subscribed, please click subscribe and press the notification bell for more updates. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to prepare a budget and discuss the benefits of having one. Also, a budgeting template will be made available to better organize your budgeting experience. Now, let's define of what is a budget. A budget is a written record of the money that flows in and out of your pocket every month. Take note that you need to write or type it so that you won't forget the cash inflows and outflows of your money. It can also be noted that a daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly budget can be prepared depending on the range of your budgeting. So now, let's check what are the benefits of budgeting. Budgeting is the first step towards financial freedom. It allows you to take control of your finances. With budgeting, you will be securing your ticket towards controlling your money. More reasons on budgeting. You have 100% control over your money. There are only two things that will happen with or without budgeting. It's either you are controlling your money or it's the other way around. You have to decide. Number two, it opens your eyes about finances. You will be aware and conscious as to the flow of your income and expenses. And with budgeting, it allows you to track your expenses and check your outflows. And that is organizing your spending. And lastly, it allows you to invest your savings. It gives you better options to invest your savings. Now, the challenge is, are you ready to prepare your budget? Grab your pen and paper and let's start the budgeting now. Now, let's check Elizabeth Warren's 50-30-20 budgeting rule. Our income will be 100% of our pie, and out of this income, 50% will be allocated to our needs, 30% to our wants, and 20% will be apportioned to our savings. When doing our budget, we need to prioritize our needs over our wants, and of course, valuing our savings. Most of the people I know when budgeting are using the traditional budgeting formula, which is income less expenses equals savings. One loophole in this formula is we tend to be contented with what is left after deducting our expenses to our income. There is no control on how much we are going to save. But we will not be using this one. Instead, we will be using the success formula in budgeting. And that is, income minus savings equals expenses. As you noticed, we automatically deduct our savings from our income, wherein we can assure that our savings is protected and could no longer be spent as it was saved. This should be the better option to use when budgeting. Again, we will be using the success formula in budgeting. That is, when we have our income, we have to allocate first to our savings, and the remainder will be for our expenses. Income minus savings equals expenses. So the following are the steps in budgeting. 1. We need to calculate your income. And this income are composed of income from employment or your income from your side hustle. 2. Determine how much you will save. Let's say you will be saving 20% out of your income. 3. Prioritize your expenses. In this case, you need to prioritize of what is important. That is your needs over your wants. And lastly, we have to monitor and adjust our budget. Let's check also, why do budgets fail? First, lack of discipline on the person in implementing the budget. Yourself should be disciplined enough to respect your budget. 2. Negative attitude. Procrastination destroys our productivity, so us in our budgeting. And 3. Unrealistic expectations. Now, let's have my budgeting tips. Number 1. Focus on reducing expenses and funnel more money to savings. When we identify unnecessary expenses, we need to cut it out in our spending and divert it to productive investments or savings. For example, instead of having a weekly coffee with friends outside, try to reduce it to bi-monthly and check how much savings you will have. Number 2, remove impulsive buying and focus on needs instead. Sales clearances and big discounts at malls and shopping centers tempt us to spend. Ask yourself first, is this a need or a want? Number 3, consider additional stream of income. When you determine that you need more income to cover up your expenses, try to check a part-time job, and this will increase your cash inflows. Tip number 4, review regularly your budget. In this case, you can see if you are overspending or underspending and check the available options for investments and savings. Tip number 5, write your budget. And in this way, you can check of what's happening in your budget. And you can adjust also your budget according to the development of things. Now, let's proceed to the budget template so that you can organize better your budget. So this is the budgeting template that will serve as our guide in preparing our budget. You can tailor fit this one according to your needs. So this is my personal budget sheet template for the year 2020. If you want a copy of this spreadsheet, I can forward this one to you. Just email me at quicktechforwarders@gmail.com. So just send me a request in my email so that I can forward it to you. So let's check this one, also applying our budget rule which we've discussed a while ago. So as per Elizabeth Warren, that we need to have a savings of at least 20%. But in my case, I opted to use 30%. So this one. So this part of this spreadsheet here, that is income less savings, and the remainder will be allotted to your expenses. So let's fill in this spreadsheet. So this is only an example. So for the month of August, so I have prepared already my budget for August. So let's try to fill in this spreadsheet. So let's say salary for 30,000 as an example. So as you can see that it will automatically compute as above. So you don't need to touch this part here, the income, savings, and expenses, as it is. It will automatically give you a computation. It is linked to these figures below. So part-time income, let's say 15,000. and other income of 5,000. So going back to our previous discussion in budgeting, that we are using the formula of income less savings equals expenses. So as you can see, we have here the income, and now we have filled in already our income. So let's proceed with the savings part. So we have to deduct first our savings, the savings that we wanted to keep on ourselves. So let's fill in for the month of August. Let's say I have an emergency fund, 3,000. Retirement, I will put 2,000. Restricted funds of 3,000. Restricted funds, it means that I cannot use these funds as it is restricted for other purposes. So I cannot touch these funds up until that I decided to use these funds already. Next, we have for Impi to Pag-ibig Fund. You can avail this one also, 2,000. It's a saving form of savings by the Pag-ibig, which they will be giving good interest rates. Stock investments, let's say monthly I am investing for 2,000, and I have an allocation for future business operations. If I want to start, or you want to start your own business, then monthly you will be allocating a portion of your income to your saving. So 15,000, let's check if that is 30% of your savings here. That is, savings is 15,000, so that equals our total savings here as we fill in our saving portion here, 15,000. And the balance, which is 50,000 less the savings. So we have here already we have income of 50,000 less the savings of 15,000. The balance will be for expenses. So as we can see here, that there is control on our savings because we have kept already our savings before we spend. So we save first before we spend. So, and these are the portion for our expenses in this spreadsheet. We have the home expenses for 11,300. We have payment for rentals, mortgage rentals, electricity bills, water expenses, cable, satellite, internet, maintenance supplies, and you can add also other home expenses which you can tailor fit to your own home expenses. You have also for tithings, we have here the total. For transportation, we have the total transportation of 9,000 for vehicle payments, insurance for vehicles, and fuel also. And for the daily living, in the month of August, we'll be spending 5,000 for groceries, clothing, education lessons, dining and eating out, 1,500, salon, barber, 200. So for health, there's an allocation of 4,000. And entertainment subscriptions, we have for Netflix, 800, vacation travel, 1,000, and dues or memberships, 500. So we have here for total entertainment and subscriptions of 2,300. Out of the 35,000, which is this one, the balance for expenses, we have a budgeted figure for our expenses of 34,300. So there's an excess of allowed budget for expenses, which is 700 pesos. We can even increase this one as we review our budget. Just like for instance, we decided to remove our subscription with Netflix. So we're going to delete this one. Our excess of allowed budget will increase from 700 to 1,500. and say I will postpone my vacation for this year due to the things that are happening right now. I don't want to travel also, so I'm gonna remove this 1,000 also. So it also increased now to 2,500. And use membership, I decided to retain it. And scrolling to your spreadsheet, you can check still which expenses you are going to eliminate or reduced, if not eliminate. So for the excess of allowed budget for expenses, it is your decision whether to invest it or add up as your allowance. So if you want this spreadsheet, just send me an email at quicktechforwarders@gmail.com. Actually, I have prepared already a full year budget for 2020 and it looks like this. So this is my budgeting template for the year 2020. I hope you learned something today about budgeting, and if you need any advice in financial matters, feel free to email me. So thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell for more updates.